Usually, okay, so full transparency, recording has actually just now started, so if you've been here listening, recording. All right, we'll make this short and quick. I'm gonna run out of time here in just a minute. So here's what we're really looking at this point. Penny stocks are absolute trash today. So, and Mike typically does not trade penny stocks on Fridays just out of principle because it's his lowest win rate day. Last week we had a 99% win rate. We had earlier this week I had some really nice plays. Yesterday was pretty bad. We saw some things that tried to move, a couple of losses, but we kept them to a minimum, and so that's the way to do it. And so that's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on the fact that Fridays are usually really trash, and we're going to stay away from that. So probably, and I'm going to be out of town, so we probably won't even do a live stream tomorrow. But I tell you what I will do. I will get my level set for tomorrow, and we'll kind of look and see what we're looking at that point. And I'll send out what I'm looking for as far as levels go. The levels that I wound up with yesterday were absolute gold. I love it when it happens. We don't always get levels that play like this, but this was amazing. We had the dump we had yesterday morning. We played short off of this level right here that we had pulled up from Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. We pulled over from Tuesday. Got some sloppy movement back down here, but it actually wound up being sitting right on top of Freddie's 200 EMA down there. Not that one. Why do I even have that there? I don't even like that one. Something else I was goofing around with. 200 EMA on the 1 hour. Pushed right back up into the mess of things, which is also why I don't like EMAs for the most part, because I don't like my mess. My chart's already messy. I draw my chart messy already, so I don't need a bunch of stuff on my chart helping it. But break, retest all the way back up here, break, retest all the way back up to here, and then the overnight just absolutely just was kind of trash, to be quite honest with you. So at this point, what we're kind of looking at, we just double topped overnight on NQ. Not seeing a lot of, what did I just do? The wrong thing. Seeing some downside, but at the same time, we're kind of widening this movement right here. So it's lower, higher high, lower low kind of deal here. I think we're kind of maybe starting to see a little bit of an NQ. It's trying to show its colors here a little bit. That would be kind of fun for NQ to actually be the wild one again instead of ES. But we can kind of see ES is way back above all-time highs at this point. ES is typically the one that's going to show us what the market is actually going to try to do, even though ES was the one that blocked off. You can kind of see back here, ES was the one that consolidated while NQ was making its higher highs and higher lows. And now they're, and then we had that big pullback last Wednesday, big liquidity grab back here at the bottom of ES. NQ still holding that strong lower high for us. And then we pull back up, and now both are making those peaks. Nice big pullback on both of them again this past Tuesday. And then we double bottomed on NQ, higher highs on ES. And ES is not waiting for anybody. So overall, I think the market's fairly strong. People are like, the big pullback, the big pullback, the big pullback. NQ did it, but NQ we're used to NQ coloring outside the lines. So it's not that big of a deal. NQ making that double top though here, where ES is just ripping and roaring at this point. So if we're looking at kind of what we're doing, we're back over the top of the 1 hour 21 EMA. Everything on ES is in line, right? 150 back here from the 15 minute, the 1 hour 21, the 15 minute 50, and the 15 minute 21, all in bullish territory, coming right back down to bounce off the bottom of this again. If we push into market open here in the next 20 minutes, it's probably, there could be a good chance that it dumps, or if it pulls back, it tries to, find some support. It's deserved its ability to be able to do that, because look at where the previous high was. We could pull all the way back down to here, still be very bullish overall. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like, we've got room to pull back at this point, so be cautious with it. But as long as we keep moving, J Deeps, thanks for pulling those 5-minute levels up for us. Yayer. I actually had a level right here at the top where he had his, and I moved it. Because last night was just like Asian and London was so choppy. I didn't really give us anything. Like, it was just it was very slow. I don't know. The past several nights, Asia and London have given us some action, and last night just kind of sat in a little pocket. So, but NQ back down here underneath this 1 hour 21 EMA for just a little bit. If we pull back any further, I'm expecting some sort of pop into market open here. If not, even if we decide to chop around a little bit, obviously every break, every push gets the retest, and at some point everything's got to find some consolidation. Whether it's the big dogs distributing their shares, trying to get the market to dump, and we all know how that worked last time. The retailers just held it into one big consolidation block and then pushed it up anyway. I say they pushed it up. Obviously the big guys allowed it. They probably just got tired of pushing down on us. So, it's a bit of a hyperbole. I mean, we're still such a small percentage of the market, but regardless, I think probably if we pull back I'm still looking for at this point ES to pull back no further than that 6372 at the very minimum. If we break underneath that and start going lower, then I would start worrying a little bit. As long as we stay above that 6372 level, I think we're okay. So my plan here at this point is, if you're playing ES, you want to watch this zone up here. We're going to make this a Poarch zone. No, not Michael Poarch. I don't know why I named it Poarch. But so we've got this level. Obviously, we've got a couple of little areas that we can kind of pay attention to. Probably looking for somewhere around in here being the next level that could really give us some issues if we're not careful. Okay, so here, and here, I'm looking to go long off of this level, or go long if we break and retest off the top of this level. Definitely go long if we pull all the way back to 63.72. Very tight stop loss on this one, so I'm okay. Trying to, waiting for this to kind of dig back down into this level a little bit, and then come back and retest and sit on top of it. Probably, it may be like immediately touch and take off if it starts to if it starts to push away from this really fast. If you see us push down to this level really fast, look for that replay back up to the top side. If not, if you're playing NQ like I like to do, NQ has much less room to move because of just everything, right? So I like J Deeps' idea right here. I think we have an obvious level right here at this point, right in this consolidation area. Maybe a little different than how he has this pulled out, but pretty similar. This general area, right on top of this 1 hour 21 EMA is kind of what we're looking at. We've got the top here. We either need to break above and make these all-time highs today, or we might not see it this week, right? So we've got time to pull back and still end this week green. Remember that. We're still green for the week, and as far as like price action goes. Like, we've made 14 all-time highs in the last month and a half. So pulling back, potentially pull back to here. If we pull back underneath this and start to push back down, remember NQ coloring outside the lines, ES could very easily, I think, probably find some support somewhere between here and here, while NQ comes back and retests into some of the stuff that we had going on yesterday. So maybe a push back down into like this area, kind of like this a little better, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for. I've got a level kind of sitting down underneath it, like as a backup resort. But really, honestly, I think the bigger range for NQ could pull it back down to 2311 and still be okay. I wouldn't want to see ES pull back that far, but that puts it pretty similar to I think pretty much what we're kind of dealing with. Puts it back at yesterday's low for ES. So we're going to be moving around. If it's going to get jerked around, ES is obviously not going to move nearly as fast or as far as NQ typically. So I think that's well within range of like respectable movements for the day. So at that point, I do hate to do this. It's about 14 minutes till market open, but I will bid my adieu. I will post levels tomorrow. Mike will not be on live tomorrow. I do apologize. I will just not be able to stay on today. So, and I was late this morning because I was working with another client. So I do apologize for that. But next week we're gonna round this thing back up on Monday. Keep your charts open today and tomorrow. ABCs, I'm stealing this. This is not my own, but ABCs, always be charting, always stay in the charts, always be putting something on your charts. If you're on TradingView, make that layout where you can just draw and erase and draw and erase and draw and erase, so you're not messing up your primary chart. So find what works, play it well, and then there you go. There's I don't even have to pull it out. There's my NQ chart right now. So this is what I'm looking for. If you want to screenshot it, or I'll take a screenshot and post it in the futures. These are the levels that I'm watching for NQ today. Boom shalakallah. All right. Does anybody have any questions before I hop off? None? Okay. My level's pretty much lined up with Jay's. I think I should probably tell you something. All right, I'm hopping off. You guys have a good day of trading. If you have any questions, you know where to find us. Reach out in the stock or the futures area or the options chat. If you have a question about options, you can always sign up for Apex. Has got almost a little less than a full day. For their 80% sale, they'll probably have another one starting tomorrow. But just in case they don't, it's always a good time to go ahead and just grab a couple of super cheap accounts you can just kind of hang on to if you'd like that. And I will grab this video. I'll post it. And actually, I've got all weeks. I've got Mondays, yesterday's, and today's to put. So I'll get 3 videos posted. And we'll talk to you guys another day. We'll see y'all later. Peace out.
See ya.
Absolutely.